Loading attack lines. Loading 2.5-inch hose bed. A flat load is used for the 2.5-inch hose bed with a male coupling at the end. The hose is loaded, working from side to side. The end rows are doubled up to keep the height of the bed level. An 18-inch loop of hose is placed 50 feet from the end. The loop should be made just before the last coupling is loaded and be large enough to slide an arm through. This allows for 50 feet of available working line to be immediately available when the nozzle and loop are extended. The nozzle is set with 2 hose straps attached. These will be used by the firefighters to assist with controlling or advancing the hose while it is under pressure. Loading 1 3/4 transverse beds. A flat load is used on the 1 3/4 hose beds. The hose rows are alternated to keep the bed level. When the last 50-foot section is being loaded, a loop is formed on either side. The loop should be formed on one side just before the last coupling is loaded. The loop on the other side will then be formed just after the coupling is loaded. This provides 50 feet of working line to be pulled with the nozzle from either direction. Both beds are loaded similarly. The front bed is arranged with the nozzle pointing toward the captain's side. The rear bed is pointing towards the engineer's side. The top fold is turned onto its side as an indication of the nozzle line. The final folds are adjusted and the nozzle is placed toward the front of the cab. This allows the firefighter to pull on just the front part of the top fold to slide the nozzle across. A single hose strap is attached on each nozzle. Loading 4-inch hose. Four-inch hose shall be loaded flat in the rear hose bed. At least 3 members are required for efficient hose loading. The positions. 1 member will stand on the tailboard and is responsible for the folds at the rear of the hose bed. This member can also assist with pulling hose up to the second member. The second member will stand at the rear of the hose bed and pull the hose for loading. A third member will receive hose from the second member and create folds at the front end of the hose bed. If additional members are available, they will help with coupling and advancing the hose from the ground. The hose shall be loaded so that each hose fold is positioned next to the previous fold. Yell out, "Coupling!" each time a coupling is passed in order to warn other members. Couplings must be loaded so that they will not flip when the hose bed is deployed. To accomplish this, and to keep the hose bed flat, each coupling will be taken to the front of the hose bed and positioned so that as the hose is deployed, it will slide straight out. This may require that the coupling be flipped prior to being positioned. To the extent possible, the couplings should be distributed evenly across the front of the hose bed without stacking them directly on top of each other. Complete one level across the entire hose bed. Start the next level by doubling up on the ends. Continue the flat load side to side. Continue placing all couplings at the front of the hose bed. When the hose is loaded on top of a section with a coupling, it will be folded short to create an even profile in the hose bed. It may be necessary to fold a few levels short to accomplish this. Subsequent folds may then be made on top of the hose bed, covering the previous couplings. When the last section of hose has been loaded, a hose strap will be attached 10 feet from the end. A hydrant pack is then attached at the end of the hose. The final step is attaching the 2.5-inch to 4-inch increaser and then stacking the coupling over the hose strap. Preparing a high-rise pack. In order to prepare a high-rise pack, the hose must first be drained and rolled with the male coupling out. The high-rise pack is started with a nozzle attached to the male coupling. Next, a 6-foot section is obtained by extending the hose straight out behind the nozzle. The hose is then unrolled while rotating around the 6-foot section. The hose must be kept snug as each fold is built. The firefighters will secure the end folds as the bundle is made. When the end of the hose is reached, the female coupling is protected by folding it back under the last foot of hose. A 2.5 to 1.5 inch reducer is attached. The bundle will then be secured with straps. Care should be taken to attach all straps on the same side and same direction for ease of deployment.